What in the world were they thinking with this one? So they added a fully automatic M16 to the game, and it's as ridiculous as it sounds. So the catch with this is that this isn't actually like a brand new weapon, rather this is just one of those absurd aftermarket parts that they've added to the game. So obviously last year we had the M16 in Modern Warfare 2 2022, and essentially what this aftermarket part does is it converts it from being a burst weapon, as an M16 normally is, to a fully automatic weapon is. And if you know how the damage on an M16 works, yeah, it's kind of crazy in game. Now, granted, they did tweak it a teensy-weensy bit to try to make it not too overpowered, but yeah, it's still crazy regardless. To unlock this, as usual, all you gotta do is complete at least 5 challenges from the new set of weekly challenges. You can do 2 in multiplayer, 2 in zombies, 1 in battle royale, or do all 5 of them in one of the given modes. It really doesn't matter. As usual, they're pretty easy. These challenges aren't here to be hard. They're literally just here to boost retention and keep you coming back week after week, but even then, you don't even need to complete all of them in the week that they were released. Like, if you wanted to, you could wait until week 8 and then just go through and do all 8 weeks of challenges. Like, it doesn't even matter. Also, I apologize if the lighting in the face cam is like even more off than usual. You know, ever since I started kind of like changing things over here at the console setup, things have just kind of been like all out of whack when it comes to like trying to figure out how to get everything set up over here. But the main thing has been the lighting specifically. It's either at a point of where it's too dim and it just looks like garbage, or it's way too bright and I look like a ghost, and there's very few in between points. But anyway, here's that fully automatic M16, and yeah, as you can see, like, it's pretty good. Now, is this gonna be like the new meta over in Warzone or something like that? I mean, I'm not gonna go as far as to say anything like that, because I mean, I don't even play Warzone to begin with, so it's hard to say. If I'm gonna be honest, literally any weapon could be a meta over in Warzone. It really just comes down to like what attachments you put on it, because let's be honest, even the quote-unquote metas over in Warzone, the only reason they're the meta is because they kill enemies in like 0.1 milliseconds faster than every other weapon in the game on average. Warzone metas are literally such an arbitrary thing that YouTubers just use for like clickbait and other stuff like that. Like, it's literally, there's rarely ever actual metas to where it's like, oh, it's so good. Like, sure, I can think of some instances during like Warzone 1 and even a few during like Warzone 2 so far, but like, barely. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so paranoid right now. I keep turning around because, as you can probably see in the background, usually I have like my OBS overlaid over my Audacity so I can see it all at once, but right now I have my Audacity just on full display so then I can at least even see it in the face cam. Because right before I went to record, this weird thing started happening where, as I was moving my mic over here, because I have a USB extender that runs the whole way from my PC over to my microphone over here at the console setup. Dude, SBMM is going absolutely crazy right now. Like, I literally just got on and they're already bright and early on a Thursday morning just like, nah, let's punish this dude. But for some reason, the audio kept dropping out and then it was like disconnecting and saying like, yeah, this could have happened for a number of reasons. None of the reasons that they listed would have made sense in the context. Like, the only thing I can think of is maybe there was like a cable that was like a little loose for some reason, but it happened twice even after I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and then when I plugged it back in for the 3rd time, now it seems to be working. 3rd time's a charm, I guess. So I'm a little paranoid right now. I keep looking down at the thing just to make sure that everything's still going, you know, in the back of my face cam there. And yeah, it seems like it's still going okay. Granted, at the very least, obviously my camera also picks up audio. So if my mic would crap out, I mean, you know, the audio that we already have is there. So, you know, like, there's the backup audio always. But let's be honest, like, the audio from my camera, just go and watch one of my videos from like anything more than I want to say, like, what, maybe like a month or 2 ago, that, oh gosh, the audio is absolutely garbage. These people are sweating so hard right now, man. Like, I'm not even trying, you know, I'm just casually trying to run around because I know the harder I try, the worse the SBMM is gonna get, so I'm not even trying right now. Like, I'm running, slide canceling occasionally whenever my OCD tells me to, but otherwise, I mean, like, I want to get back into chill lobbies. I don't even care about pub stomping. I just, you know, like, I mean, you guys see this. I've also noticed this weird thing ever since yesterday. It's a really strange issue, but for some reason, the game has started, like, jittering intermittently, and I mean, I haven't changed anything with, like, how my game is installed or anything else like that, so I don't know. And it definitely isn't a connection thing on my side, because, I mean, my internet's, like, really good. And it's not even, like, lag necessarily. It's literally just, like, a slight jitter. Like, you probably even saw it right there. Like, it's very hard to describe. It's just, like, it, like, stops for, like, a single frame, and then it kind of, like, kicks back into action. It feels like a server-side thing. They also ended up bringing back that get high mode, because they released it initially during, like, the whole 420 time, which, I hate that time of year, if I'm gonna be honest. I never unironically use the word cringe, but when it comes to like pot and stoners and stuff, that actually makes me cringe. I'm also just 110% sober all the time. I don't like pot, I don't like cigarettes or nicotine, I don't like alcohol, I don't like none none of that stuff. The most I'll drink is water. Maybe give me an ice drink if I'm feeling a little fancy, you know, the flavored carbonated water. Other than that, the only time that I'm getting high is, I don't know, maybe a sugar high if I accidentally eat too much Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But anyways, yeah, we weren't sure if that was gonna be like a limited time mode. Well, I mean, it actually was like very limited at first. Like they bring it into rotation every like 4 hours and would stay there for a little bit and then they just kind of like yank it out. But now at this point, it's been in there for like an entire day, so I don't know how long it's gonna be sticking around. It's definitely probably not gonna be like a permanent mode or anything like that, but I mean, I'm just glad that they're actually leaving it in there for longer periods of time so more people are actually able to play it now, because I didn't even get to make a video on it initially. But the mode is a lot of fun. It's essentially like the new iteration of Free Run, if you guys remember that from Black Ops 3. I still can't believe that game's gonna be 9 years old this year, and the fact that Advanced Warfare is gonna be 10 years old this year. I'm literally fossilizing before my own eyes. Also, for anyone curious, I've still been rocking out with the Akimbo 1887s, you know. I know in this game it's technically the Lockwood, whatever. No, these are the Akimbo model 1887s. 15 years later, a completely different game. It doesn't even matter. These weapons are still just as fun now as they were back then. It is pretty crazy to think that, you know, if instead of just making these aftermarket parts, they would put new weapons into the game, just how many weapons would actually be in MW3. But at the same time, the fact that they are just aftermarket parts is kind of nice, because then you don't have to worry about like leveling them up, going for the new camos and all that. But at the same time, you know, I'm a grinder and I like leveling up my weapons. I like going for the camo grind, so I could really go back and forth on that. But at the same time, you know, if these weapons are so similar at their core that really all it takes is a part to transform them into an entirely new weapon, at least by definition, then I mean, like, yeah, sure, why not? I'd like to see them do this in Black Ops this year, because we all know Black Ops, they do some crazy weapons. We had like mannequin arms back in Black Ops 3, and then even like in Cold War, we had like nail gun and all that. I know the nail gun's technically from Black Ops 3, but you know, like they also had it in Cold War. Hello. Yeah, I was going off. Mosquito drone. We all saw that, right? Like, I launched my mosquito drone, yet it said that I didn't launch it. Now I have to launch it to get that. Oh, okay, well, at least I got my revenge. My team is going ham right now. We have all 3 of the objectives down. The enemy team is at, oh, wait, are we actually about to, hold up. We can actually pull this back right now. Team, y'all better stay on the objectives. There's no way we're actually about to win. Wait. Are we, wait, 200 to 190, okay, we really brought that back. That was actually insane. Well, I was already talking about it, so we might as well go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and play the Get High mode, especially since, you know, I didn't even get to make a video on it when it was first brought into the game. I tried to, but the mode just wasn't available that morning. What's new in the shop? You know, I come in here and look every so often. This is, okay, this is actually pretty cool. We got, like, the hockey mask looking thing. Yo, is this Call of Duty's version of the Teletubbies? That's actually not a bad deal. You get, like, what, 3 or 4 skins for 3,000 COD points? I mean, like, it's still expensive, but, like, it's cheap compared to a lot of other skins in the shop. But anyways, here's the Get High mode. So you do spawn in with the weapon, because if you shoot other players, it does slow them down a little bit, but, you know, it's better off just to run with your hands out. And yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's... I don't know what else to say about it, man. Like, it's pretty trippy, but in a good way. And as I was saying before, it's essentially just like Free Run from Black Ops 3 minus the exo movement. You'll be running, jumping, sliding, you know, just doing parkour and stuff like that. It's basically just like a 3D platformer, but in first person. And saying that out loud makes me really miss the Mirror's Edge franchise. EA, please bring it back. I'll never forget the first time I played that game on my Xbox 360, man. That game was so freaking cool. Like, jumping between buildings, wall running, doing a bunch of rolls and flips and stuff. Like, Mirror's Edge was awesome. And then Catalyst, that game was awesome too. And you gotta watch out for these platforms right here. They'll like go in and out. And as you can see on the right side of the screen, there is like a progress meter just to kind of let you know how you're doing. And yeah, it does take a little bit to get to the top. It's totally worth it though. This mode is a lot of fun. You know, in terms of like XP, you do get a little bit along the way. Like, you'll see these targets, and you can just kind of run around and shoot them. I mean, you don't have to, but you can if you want some extra XP. There's also checkpoints along the way, so you know, if you die, then you just kind of respawn at those, as you would expect. And yeah, I really hope Call of Duty keeps doing stuff like this, because I really love these kind of modes in the game. You know, like these free run, parkour, platforming type of modes. I'm also biased because I grew up during like the PS2 generation, where there was tons of 3D platformers. So, you know, this is like one of my favorite video game genres of all time. Think like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, then you had a bunch more niche ones like the Tasmanian Tiger, for example. Plus all the movie tie-in games that were like 3D platformers slash like 3D action games around that time. You had stuff like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is like 3D platformer slash collectathon. I'll never forget my local McDonald's had a PS2 system and a GameCube system, and you know, they had like the little kiosks there. They would alternate the games out from time to time, but I remember on the GameCube one, like the one time they had Battle for Bikini Bottom there, which was really cool because I always, you know, I got that game on my PS2 like as soon as it came out. But Battle for Bikini Bottom was one of those games for me where I was just always fiending to play because I love SpongeBob back then, and I mean to this day I still love SpongeBob. I watch SpongeBob all the time. So even though, you know, I'd literally be sitting there at my house just playing on my save file on my PS2 before going out to eat at McDonald's, even when I got to McDonald's, even though obviously my saves weren't going to transfer to McDonald's or anything like that, I was just completely cool with starting up a fresh save at McDonald's and seeing how far I could get before my family finished eating dinner, and then we had to leave. And then I remember they had the Robots game there, which that was another game that I loved as a kid. It was a 3D platformer slash collectathon based on the animated Robots movie. I tell you, man, my McDonald's had some great games in their kiosk. This part is pretty cool too. You like jump on, you like kind of hang on as it takes you around to the other side. Like I was saying, like there's a lot of cool tech and stuff inside of here, man. Like I really hope they do more stuff like this. But anyways, with that, you know, the enemy is so far ahead of me, so you know I could finish this, but you know, you guys probably get the gist of it at this point. But anyways, yeah, there's not a whole lot else happening in Call of Duty at the moment. I hopped on yesterday just to see if there was any new events or anything like that, but unfortunately there was not. They'll probably have like one more event for like the last week of the season because that's typically what they do. I'd also expect like maybe one more double XP weekend before the season ends, but otherwise, yeah, at this point we're just kind of chilling, cruising until season 4. So anytime they add new modes or do anything else cool, you know, I'll make a video on it. Obviously, I might make a couple casual videos like this on Modern Warfare 3 up until season 4 releases, just because there is, you know, a decent amount of time until then. But otherwise, yeah. But anyway, as always, massive shout out, thank you to all the Patreon 10 channel members, thank you to all the low baller tier, and big shout out, thank you to all the mid baller tier, metal last gaming dad, and many of the bitches that's on the GTA run events on the cheese code. Thank you guys so much, guys. You're literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.